Hare Krishna, Mataji. Am I audible? Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Pranam, Mataji. Yeah, we can hear you, Mataji. Thank you so much, Ashish Prabhu. It was so nice. With harmonium, you have done Kirtan. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hari Bol. Yeah, Poonandari Mataji, we welcome you here on ICF Forum. Hare Krishna. We can't see you, Mataji.
One second, Mataji.
Yeah, sure.
Connecting the laptop.
Yeah, Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay. Kirtan is done, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji.
Okay, so we can start with the prayers, right?
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
Yeah.
But Mataji, still your video is not on.
It's on. I don't know, is this now?
Okay.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Very happy Krishna conscious New Year to all of you, and welcoming for our daily Monday to Friday Bhagavatam, Shrimad Bhagavatam. And today we are on Canto 3, Chapter 9, Shlokas 41 to 46. Okay, so we'll just start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrapatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tat Sat Om Agnanatimiram Dasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mataji, can you make Purna Nandini the host so that I can share?
You can share, Mataji. Just check. I'm making you a co-host anyways.
Okay. I'll check, Mataji. If I can
Mataji.
share, then fine. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So, Hare Krishna. Who I don't see devotees wanting to read. Not 3.9. I'm sorry. 3.14. Sorry. Just a second. This was something else. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna. 3.14. Vasudha Mataji, can you please read the shloka, and Sindhu Mataji can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Wish you a happy New Year, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Tada Vishveshwara Kruddho Bhagaval Loka Bhavana hanisyati avatiryaso yathadrin sataparvadrik. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sindhu Mataji.
Text 41.
Translation.
Pranam Mataji. Translation with Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. At that time, the Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the well-wisher of all the living entities, will descend and kill them, just as Indra smashes the mountains with his thunderbolts.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Okay, so the title of the chapter is Pregnancy of Diti in the Evening. I think we have seen previously how conceiving in a wrong time, that we have demonic kind of children, and why all that. I think the previous shlokas we have seen about. Now in this shloka, we will see what it is to not follow rules, or if why we have to follow rules. Now any government or any organization for that matter, it can be government, it can be school, it can be office. Now rules are made so that we follow rules, and we are to that extent little peaceful to do our work. Now if say, just imagine in a signal, in a traffic signal, if there were no rules to follow, what would be there? It would be only chaos. So, and then so same way, Krishna has given us some rules, Shastra has given us some rules, so that when we follow rules, we are to that extent peaceful, and then we can progress materially or spiritually. See, even on the material aspect, if we follow rules, then we can do our work a little more efficiently. Now, and another aspect here that we can see is, will any of the government or any authority, will they want more people in the jail? Will they want more people in jail? Yes or no?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
No,
Oh,
Mataji.
Mataji.
No.
Right? So no matter, that is one aspect. The other aspect is, in the jail, now if we are given the best of facility, like say a 5-star hotel food, and then nice air conditioning, and all this, nice place to sleep, entertainment in the jail. Now will we want to stay in the jail?
No, Mataji.
We will not want to, right? Now but then most of our endeavors on a day-to-day life, I'm including myself, I'm saying our endeavor on a day-to-day life is that we are conditioned in this material body, right? And we do things so that more of things that we don't want to get out of this jail. Now what do I mean we are doing more of things that we don't want to, like during some now class is there, and then our conscious is a little more Krishna conscious. Now after the class, or if we are not reading, or if we are not in the temple, then what happens? Then we are so overwhelmed with the material aspect that we tend to forget that we are the souls and not the body. Yeah, all of you agree with me?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah. So it is like, one nice example this Prabhu was giving, conditioning. He says air condition. What do you mean by air conditioning? The air there is conditioned to some temperature. So we are conditioned to this material world. Actually, in the beginning of the creation, the first thing Brahma creates is ignorance. First thing he creates is ignorance. So that is why it's a great struggle. It's really a great struggle for us to be out of this conditioning. And also, from so many births, we are into this aspect of that I am the body, and then to gratify our senses, it is very difficult for us to bring us to the aspect of, practically for us to bring us to the aspect of that we are not the body, and then we are the soul. Now here, So here comes the mercy of the Lord. Now, even though the Lord knew, and then he warned us when we came away from his abode, he said, it's a place for Dukhalaya. It is not a place for you. It is like fish out of water. But then we still chose to come. And so he created this material world for us to enjoy and then understand that this is not our place. Now, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says two things. One thing is, the example of mountains being smashed by a thunderbolt, right? Consider the mountain is so strong, right, within the universe that it cannot be so easily broken. But then by the thunderbolt, that is, Indra's thunderbolt, that can smash it. I mean, something very powerful. So now the Supreme Lord, further Srila Prabhupada says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not need to descend to kill any demon. Now here we are seeing Diti is, worried about how they are going to be, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu are going to be killed by the Lord. Now should the Lord come, himself come, right? Now something like a mountain can be can be smashed by a thunderbolt. Then just to kill a demon, should the Lord come? Now Srila Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example for this, right? He gives an example of a king who had a very nice minister. And this minister, used to say this aspect that the Lord need not come for everything, that he can manage from wherever he's there. All he has to do is just think. And so this king would never agree to, would always be in doubt. And then he would ask the minister, how is it possible, right? So the minister says, when the time comes, I will tell you. Now is not the right time. So then it so happens once the king and the minister with the king's grandchild, they are walking in the palace, and there happens to be a pond or a water body there. So this minister, what he does is, the minister tells the king, initially that the Lord has so many agents, so many energies to take care of whatever he wants to do, that he need not come. So the king is not completely convinced, and in this scenario, what he does, the minister, he takes the grandchild and he puts the grandchild into the water. The king immediately jumps, and it so happens that the king is not very familiar with swimming, but still he jumps to rescue the child. And then he comes to the minister and then he says, what is this? What did you do? Why did you throw my grandchild there? Then minister says, see, there are so many of your soldiers here, people who can take care. You don't know swimming, but still you did not wait for a second, trying to tell all these assistants, the soldiers or whoever, to rescue your child, but you yourself jumped into the pond or water body to rescue your grandchild. Similarly, the Lord, even though he can, just a thought, just a tsunami, a flood, an earthquake can kill tons of people, then just to kill one demon, he need not come. But why did he come? Because he is Bhakta Vatsala. He is Bhavagrahi Janardana for the devotees. That is where Srila Prabhupada in the beginning, if you see, he says 4.8, if you see the shloka, it says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavam. So first it says Paritranaya sadhunam. It is not that, vinashaya cha dushkritam. That is why that is why the Lord comes himself, and more so to cater to his devotees or to give pleasure to his devotees, right? So the other aspect is now, whatever the Lord does, right? Whatever the Lord does, it is absolute. Now, how do we understand this? Now, here Diti is after a point of time, Diti is happy that her sons are going to be killed by the Lord. Now, whether killed by the Lord or being protected by the Lord, there is no difference because the Lord is absolute, right? Now, again, example by Srila Prabhupada that a doctor, when he's doing surgery, the pre and post is painful. During the surgery, yes, of course, anesthesia. The pre is painful because of whatever we were suffering from, and post is after the anesthesia. It is painful because of the pains surgery one goes through. But the pain is inevitable, right? But after the surgery, after some time, after the post surgery, the person or the patient is peaceful or he's away, that much less of pain, right? So with that example, we are suffering with our karma, or rather I would say we are going through our karma. So the pre is like we are going through pain, right? And during the surgery, or when the Lord brings us to various situations to remove our pain, like the so-called reversal of situations, right? Even during that time it is painful, but post that, or when we are into devotional service, or when we go back to the spiritual abode, then it is of course again very blissful, right? So but then the aspect of Krishna, all the lectures, the lectures I referred to, there was one very important point all the acharyas or prabhus made is how merciful the Lord is. We came away, and without even thinking, like a true parent is saying, do not go. But then still, he comes as his, he himself comes, he sends his acharyas, he gives shastras for us, so that, when we are thinking we have been ripped apart from these material attachments due to these painful things, painful aspects, right? Then through all this, he's giving his mercy, intense mercy to, for us to go back to him, right? And why did we come here? Bhagavad Gita, it says, we are here in this material because of Ichcha Dvesha Samuttena. It is because of Ichcha, and it is because of Dvesha. What is the Ichcha? I want to enjoy away from Krishna. What is the Dvesha? Why should I serve Krishna? Right? Because of these two aspects. See, if on the material aspect, if I am hating somebody, right? Or if I don't like somebody, will they be merciful to us? Will they be merciful to us?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Imagine. So even Krishna's mercy is unimaginable to us, right? So that is how we have to kind of see this. Where did that thing go? So we'll go to text 42. Yeah, Sudha Mataji can read for text 42. Divya Mataji can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Ditir uvacha vadam bhagavata sakshat sunabodara bahuna ashase putrayor mahyam ma krudhat brahmanat prabho. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Diti said, it is very good that my sons will be magnanimously killed by the arms of the personality of Godhead with his Sudarshana Chakra. O my husband, may they never be killed by the wrath of the Brahmana devotees. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Now you see, we are talking of the suffering that we go through, or how we are born in this material world, why we come in this material, why we have these demonic mentality. See, at the outset, we are talking about Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu being demons, right? We all know they are Jaya Vijaya, and then they have come for Leela. But then my perspective is like, how does this reflect for us in our day-to-day life? We are all dealing with our demoniac mentalities, right? Now, why do we get into these demoniac mentalities? It's only because not following rules. Now, for example, let's take animals, right? Any aspect of the animal does, it's sleeping, eating, mating, and defending. It just does what is in its scope of work. I mean, like it morning in the scope. I mean, we never hear a tiger which is very hungry that it ate grass because it was dying. Do we hear that? No. Or a cow eating meat to keep itself alive. No.
No,
It is
Mataji.
only humans. Okay. We have been given more leeway, and then we tend to misuse it. So when we misuse it, we suffer, right? And then the other also the other aspect is how devotional service. Now that we have come into the path of devotional service, that it is time takes away everything. Okay, on the good side, the time takes away everything, and now that we are away from Krishna, so time to come, we hope to be closer to Krishna. That is our path here, right? So we do devotional service seriously, and then purify ourselves with our various sadhanas, so that we realize this aspect that we are suffering because we are away from the Lord. Now, there was this very nice point that this Prabhu made when I was listening. He says, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, not just the Lord's mercy, Srila Prabhupada's mercy. If we follow the morning program, right, Mangalarati, chanting, and then Bhagavatam class up to Prasadam, he's saying, whatever is mentioned in Nectar of Devotion, 42 limbs of 64 items of devotional service is almost taken care, he was saying. I mean, I won't get into the detail of that. We can check. We can read the 64 items that we are going through, that is prescribed by Rupa Goswami Par. And then out of that, 42 items. Can we imagine? I mean, the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, mercy of a Brahmana also we can say, I mean, a Vaishnava here. The same way, the other aspect is Diti said, the Lord is magnanimous enough that his weapon or, he himself is going to kill kill my sons. But then she is afraid of being killed by Brahmanas, the wrath of Brahmanas. Now, does this look a little controversial? Because the Lord we know is the ultimate. Now, being killed by the Lord is okay, but why being killed by Brahmana? I mean, why being cursed by Brahmana? She is more afraid, right? Because, like we discussed in the previous shloka, killing by the Lord or protecting by the Lord, it is elevating, right? We will see in the next shloka how it is elevating. But Brahmana's curse can degrade you, right? Now that is what happened to Jaya Vijaya. They were in the Vaikuntha Loka, right? And the Brahmana's curse degraded them to the material world as demons, right? So she is, she understands this aspect that killing by the Lord is the best thing. Of course, there can be nothing more better than that, because a Brahmana's curse or a Brahmana's wrath can really degrade us. And then we have to again come back in the whole. Now, why is this aspect being highlighted here? Because a Brahmana or a Vaishnava, let's say a Vaishnava, here it means a Vaishnava, Brahmana, not a Brahmana by birth. It's a Brahmana who follows Brahma janati iti brahmana. Right? He is so dear to Krishna that offending any brahmana in any ways can be degrading for us. Right? And if that brahmana who is so dear to Krishna, go brahmana hitayacha, if so dear to Krishna, if he has to curse, then the journey back to Godhead is much longer and much difficult. So she is, saying that she never be killed by the wrath of Brahmana. I mean, we can see this aspect in the case of Vena, right? How he, if some of us who know about it, or we are going to eventually read about it, how Vena was killed by the Brahmanas, because he misused his position as being a king. So that is the aspect here that we have to be aware that we should not offend Brahmanas or Vaishnavas, right? So text 43, Shobha Mataji will read the text and Krishnamurti Prabhu will read the translation. Yes. Hare Krishna.
नाभ्रम् अभन्ददक्षस्य मा भूताभयभास्य च नरकः च अनुगृह्णन्ति यां योनि असौगतः. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. A person who is condemned by a Brahmana or is always fearful to other living entities, he is not favored either by those who are already in hell or by those in the species in which he is born. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So I was just mentioning like how, what is it that, by the Lord, killing by the Lord, how is it elevating and not degrading, right? Now let's take the example of Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. They first were born as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, right? And then they were killed by Varahadev and Narsimha. And then they were again born as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Now one more aspect also comes out here. Now how among all the avatars, Krishna avatara is more merciful and more personal, right? Then as in the Rama avatara is Ravana and Kumbhakarna, right? They were killed and then again we born as Shishupala and Dantavakra. Now each time being touched by the Lord, and then so they were elevating in so much. Now Shishupala, if we take the example of Shishupala, what is Shishupala famous for?
Making fun of the
Blaspheming.
Lord Krishna, abusing.
Arrogance, Mataji, arrogance.
Not arrogance. I mean, all that is included, but he always
Blaspheming the Lord.
Yeah,
Scolding Krishna.
Yes, but it says he was taking different names of the Lord. You're Govinda. What you think? You're this. You're Gopala. You're Madhusudana. He was taking the names of the Lord and blaspheming him. So in the process, what he was doing, he was chanting the names of the Lord, right? So that he was purified so much that in the end he was killed by Sudarshana, and then he was liberated. I mean, he went back. I mean, this is one difference we see from Krishna avatara to other avatars, right? Because he was, and then we also see in the example of Kamsa or even Putana, the most glaring example that comes is Putana. Okay, she did not take the names of the Lord, but then she came as mother of the Lord, right? And in the intention of to kill him, to feed him and to kill him, poison him, right? But then, of course, she tried to feed him, and then what is that happened? What was the position she got after she was killed? she got as a, she was, because she came, even though with bad intention to kill Krishna, Putana got the position of a mother, right? And even if you see the body, her body, because she tried to feed Krishna, when she was killed, it emanated such great fragrance, right? Great fragrance from her body, that when they cut the body into pieces and they burnt, and even it gives, everybody was wondering, what is this fragrance? Where is this fragrance coming from? Right? So, what is it that we can see is, Diti realized that being killed by the Lord is definitely the best thing to happen for her children, right? Because they are going to be liberated. Imagine being touched by the Lord, right? Either way, touched by the Lord, killed by the Lord, protected by the Lord, right? So this is, how does this relate to us now as practicing devotees, right? We are thrown in the aspect of various difficulties that we go through, right? It seems as though we are being thrown here, there, thrown in the sense, it's our difficulty is being thrown to us, right? The one nice
Hare
example,
Krishna.
Padma
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Mataji. Sorry to interrupt. There is some disturbance, Mataji. Can you mute?
Padma Mataji, can you please mute? Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Like, this, when the child is small, say around 6 months, 7 months, the parent or anybody who is playing with the child, what do they do with the child? There are at times when they throw the child up and then they catch the child, right? But is the child afraid, or the person who is throwing the child, are they afraid?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Neither of them are afraid. Both of them know that, the person who is throwing the child knows they are going to catch the child, and the child anyway is in ignorance. I mean, in the ignorance, he doesn't know somebody is throwing, right? Now, this is exactly what is happening to us with the various difficulties. Krishna is, literally throwing us here and there with all the difficulties. But after that, after the child comes back to the hand of the person who is playing with the child, what does the child and that person do? They are laughing. And the child wants to be thrown again. It enjoys that aspect of being thrown again. I mean, not that we are being, we want to be, thrown with so many difficulties. But what I'm trying to say here is, at the outset, if we are being thrown with so many difficulties, right? But ultimately, the Lord is there. Okay? If that is provided, we accept completely, surrender to the Lord, that the Lord knows what He is doing, rather than think, why is this happening to me? Right? After that, when we are back into the Lord's hands, then both the Lord and us are, in that bliss. I mean, laughing, like how the child and that parent or that adult does. So, in that aspect, Diti, is not fearful of. I mean, though she was a bit worried about being cursed by Brahmanas, but then when Kashyapa Muni said that they will be killed by the Lord, she knew very well that it would be the best. It would be for their best, right? So with that, we'll go to the next shloka. Anita Mataji can read the shloka, and who can read the, Archana Mataji will read the translation. Anita Mataji, can you please read the
Hare
shloka?
Krishna, Mataji. Can you pull up the verse, Mataji? I couldn't see.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to read in English,
Thank you,
is it? Yeah.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes. कश्यप उवाच कृतशोकानुतापेन सद्यप्रत्यवमार्शनात् भगवती उरुमाना च भवे मय्यपि चादरात् पुत्रस्यैव च पुत्राणां भवितैकसतां मतः गास्यन्ति यत् यशः शुद्धं भगवत् यशसा समम्. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Archana Mataji, please read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord Kashyapa said, because of your lamentation, penitence, and proper deliberation, and also because of your unflinching faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and your adoration for Lord Shiva and me, one of the sons, Prahlada, of your son Hiranyakashipu, will be an approved devotee of the Lord, and his fame will be broadcast equally with that of the Personality of Godhead.
Okay. So Hare Krishna. So here, now here it is saying how Diti was lamenting for her wrong thought or for not following the rules. She was very repentful. And also she was repentful about offending Lord Shiva, because that is what Kashyapa Muni tries to tell her during the evening. Lord Shiva is moving around with his ganas and it is not a time for conceiving, right? So she is extremely repentful, right? She's repentful. And also it says that she had unflinching faith in Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Kashyapa Muni is telling, because of your unflinching faith in the Lord, and because of your repentful of your act, because of your wrong act, right? The Lord is trying. I mean, He's saying how it would result. What would be the result? Because there was a mistake that she did. So she, for that mistake, like she had demoniac children, right? And because she was so repentful that she would get a son, grandson like Prahlada. Here, when I was contemplating, listening, or reading this, saying, I mean, like most of us are worried that our near and dear ones, right? Especially if our children, we want children or parents or in-laws or whatever the immediate family, we are very worried that they are not in Krishna consciousness, right? Now Prahlada, I mean, I'm not comparing any of our devotion or any of us to Prahlad, but I'm just seeing a ray of hope here, right? Now, because she lamented, because she regretted her wrong act, right? Her regret was so deep, and her faith was so deep in the Lord that she would get a grandson like Prahlada. And what is it about Prahlada? If we read the 7th canto, Narsimhadev says, what does he say? 21 generations, right? Up and down, everybody is liberated because of such a pure devotee, right? So I don't know about us liberating any generations, but definitely we can at least be assured of that little extra mercy of the Lord for trying to be devotees. We are yet to be devotees, right? And when can that happen? When we are sincere in our sadhana, right? And when we are really regretful about what? Regretful that I am in this position and I am with so many challenges in life in this material world only because I forgot Krishna, right? So when we are repentful, we keep this in mind that I am in this position now because I have done my activities forgetting Krishna. Then we will be more careful to do our activities without forgetting Krishna. And then what is the I mean, not exactly result. I mean, what is it that happens? Because when we are worried about so many things, even as devotees, it is not that our worries are zero. At least my worry is not zero. Maybe some of you, you are there, who have reached there, that your worries are zero, right? We are worrying, that means we are doubting. We are not completely dependent on Krishna. We don't have that unflinching faith like Diti. So when we come to that aspect of unflinching faith like Diti, then the Lord has his ways of taking us out of this material muck, right? And then giving his causeless mercy so that we can continue our devotional path and purify ourselves and try to reach that stage of, trying to get that aspect of Krishna Prema, which is our goal, which is the goal given by Acharya, which is the goal given by Srila Prabhupada. Because any worry that is there, in Kannada it is said, chinte and chitte. There is only one, chinte and chitte in Kannada when you write, there is one amki matra. It is like a zero, right? Only that zero is the difference. Chitte is that, fire, where it is when the dead body is burnt. So difference between chinte and chitte is, only that. So when if we are so worried, then it definitely affects everything, including our devotional service. So if we can bring ourselves to this aspect, now this is what we can learn from Diti, that by not following rules, we are already here. And then by further lamenting about it, okay, or further worrying about it, we only extend our aspect of karma, right? But understanding that I have to remember Krishna, I have to depend on Krishna, then what happens? Then I am peaceful, and then when I'm peaceful, then practicing devotional service is that much more better. And then when to come to that peaceful state, then we should not be worried. Why am I not worried? Because the Lord is there. That example of how the Lord, even though at times it seems that he throws things at us, then he is there, always there to protect us, provided we want his protection. If we are saying I can protect myself, then the Lord again waits. So the ball lies in our court. Okay. Yeah. So the last shloka for today, Janaki Mataji will read the shloka, and there was somebody who had raised their hands to read the translation. Yeah, Janaki Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Pranam. Yogir hemava durvarnam bhavayishyanti sadhavaha nirvair adhibhir atmanam yachilam anuvartitum. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. Suma Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In order to follow in his footsteps, saintly persons will try to emulate his character by practicing freedom from animosity, just as the purifying process rectify gold of inferior quality. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So you see, practicing animosity. What is animosity? Envy. Right? If you see in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, in the conditional state, okay, in the, every living being is envious of another living being. But in the liberated state, there is the absence of animosity. Now, if we understand why we are envious, then we can, I'm reiterating this so that it is, more, by repeating it, we try to follow it, right? Animosity or enviousness comes when when we see somebody having more than us. It can be anything: money, intelligence, fame, right? When that is when animosity comes, enviousness comes, right? In the material world, there cannot be everything cannot be same for everybody. I mean, in the material aspect, because we come with our karmas and we are going to get what we deserve. Now, I cannot say I sowed a neem seed but I want a mango. That is not going to happen, right? But then, now here, following the footsteps of saintly person, practicing without animosity. Now, purifying one's existential identity. Now, how do we? How can this happen? And here it says, in the liberated state, there is the absence of animosity. Now, why in the liberated state there's absence of animosity? Let's see that aspect, right? On the soul platform or in the spiritual world, all of us are souls. All of us are parts and parcels of Krishna, right? So, and then all of us are Satchit Ananda. And all of us have umpteen opportunities to serve Krishna. It's not that somebody has more, somebody has less, somebody is rich, poor. No. So animosity is not there then, or enviousness is not there in the spiritual world. Now, to bring us to that stage, here it talks of ways, Srila Prabhupada says, based mainly on self-control. I mean, in the material world, if we have to purify ourselves to that extent of not being envious of others, the base is self-control, right? Now, how can we come to this aspect of self-control, right? That is through Gnana, or to Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, actually, if we see in the second chapter, Arjuna asks Krishna. It starts from Shloka 54, second chapter, 54. Arjuna says, Sthita Pragnasya Kha Bhasha. What is a Sthita Pragna? Sthita Pragna is somebody who is equipoised in all situations, right? One can be Sthita Pragna if one is not envious or lusty, right? And then from there, 2.54 to up to, we can read up to 2.64, just the shloka and translation in the second chapter. Krishna answers all these questions. I believe these shlokas Mahatma Gandhi used to read every day to understand this aspect of self-control, right? 2.54 to 2.64. And then Krishna gives how it is, how in situations where we think it is disturbing, how as a tortoise we kind of withdraw our senses, or we kind of build a wall so that doesn't affect us. So that is one aspect, self-control. And then if you see how we can come to this aspect of self-control, various shlokas in Bhagavad Gita, right? Bhagavad Gita, it says, Yo mam avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate samagunati samatityai brahma bhuyaya kalpate. How does he come to the Brahma aspect? Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kamshati. Now this envy comes when we are sochati kamshati. Either we are hankering or we are lamenting, right? 15.5 again, if we see. Dvandva vinirmukta. what is the dvandva, what is the dualities, that sukha, dukkha, various places Krishna gives this aspect. Adveshta sarvabhutanam, yona hrishyati nadveshti. All these, why are we trying to remember so many shlokas? Because time and again, Krishna is saying, unless we do this, get out of this duality, get out of this aspect of I have more, I have less, they have more, this aspect, and how that can be done by self-control. And self-control is the purifying process, like how purifying gold of inferior quality, right? So by reading all this, by understanding all this, and then understanding that in the spiritual world, the Lord, in the spiritual world, all of us have equal opportunities, and the Lord is equal to everyone. Sammoham sarvabhuteshu, he's saying, right? All of us, he's equal to all of us. So we can start from there, because otherwise we may think no matter how much I do, I'm still in the devotional path or in the material world. We can still feel we are left out, or it was not fair, and things like that, until we come to that aspect of understanding that the Lord is equal to everybody. How is he equal to everybody? That is that another subject matter, different elaborate discussion based on our this thing. He is giving us fruits based on our activities, right? What you do, so what you sow, so shall you reap. Whatever I'm sowing, that is what is the fruit I'm going to get. So this aspect of in the spiritual world, that all of us have equal opportunity to serve Krishna without being being judged by any aspect at all. From there we can take take our sadhanas more seriously, and the most important sadhana is chanting offenselessly, hearing what we chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And then completely depending on the Lord, we can come to this aspect of purifying ourselves with various aspects of self-control, eating, associating, reading, right? All the Navida Bhaktis. We have to increase the quality of our sadhana. Then we can see how much the Lord reciprocates. And how do we know the Lord reciprocates? The Lord reciprocates that when we are in difficult, when we think we are with situations where we think it is so difficult that I don't know how to deal with this. He gives the Dami Buddhi, he gives the intelligence, and at the same time he gives also the intelligence for us not to get so disturbed that it will disturb our sadhana, right? Like earlier, in our initial days, at least I'm speaking of my experience, initial days, even after chanting or doing some sadhana, if the external material disturbing situations used to disturb my sadhana. Even now, not that it doesn't disturb me, but the time frame is lesser. Earlier, if it used to be weeks and months, now maybe in the same day or in an hour, we come to terms and then say, no, what has to happen will happen, but the Lord is there, right? And this one last shloka of Bhagavatam, Shrimad Bhagavatam, as to what is the only thing that will keep us away from this envy, right? This is Canto 5, Shloka 80, Chapter 18, Text 9. Swasti astu vishwasya kala prasidatam dhyayantu bhutani shivam mitodhya manascha bhadram vachatat adokshate aveshyatam nomatir api ahetuke. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. Please listen what Srila Prabhupada says. May there be good fortune throughout the universe. Right? This shloka says, may there be good fortune throughout the universe. And may all envious persons be pacified. All envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us live as a true human and serve the mankind. Right? One aspect is about the story aspect that is coming in these chapters of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and the Lord's Avatara. But then I feel it is equally important for us to understand how we have to practically apply it and what are the lessons that we are going to take from this. Right now, I think we have moved from the story stage to the stage where we have to imbibe the tattva and live the life of Bhagavad Gita or Shrimad Bhagavatam as Srila Prabhupada wanted it. So with these few words or few discussions, I would close the class here. Extremely thankful to all of you for the patient hearing, and of course thankful to Ashish Prabhu and his team, for it is extremely purifying for me. This whole aspect is purifying for me. So in the process, there are a lot of shortcomings, which I request your prayers to get over that and to help serve my Guru and seek your blessings and forgive me for any of the mistakes that has happened. Right? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions or comments, please we can take, or else we can close the class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Mataji, on second, I think when Mataji has expressed this verse, Mataji, what in 5.8, 18.9.
Okay.
So on that day, the Mataji has told me this is a message for the new year to take vow. So I copied that and then I sent to all the devotees and all the groups also and my friends.
Very nice.
I want Mataji in this chapter, particularly this verse. I need some much more elaborate, Mataji. Just in one or two words at your end.
Now you're asking now.
You are at your liberty, Mataji. Whenever you please, you please.
Okay, because I just read the thing. I have actually not read the purport. I have to see what Srila Prabhupada wants to convey in that. Of course, he has conveyed. Anyway, you are there in the other classes.
Yes,
I will
Mataji.
touch upon it.
Please, Mataji.
Yeah, give me some time to.
Oh, by all means, by all means. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I have a question, Mataji. Mataji, so self-control in a sense, enviousness, it's controlling everything, right, Mataji? It's like sense gratification, control, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Every other thing has to be under control. Is that so, Mataji, or is it only enviousness?
No, I mean, see, I touched upon enviousness because, see, all the other things, can be dovetailed to Krishna in devotional service. You can be greedy to do devotional service. You can be proud that we are being a servant of Krishna. Not necessarily that we have to be proud, but still it can be dovetailed, right? But envy is one thing which cannot be dovetailed in devotional service. Of course, sense control, see, when the aspect of purification comes, it comes with all the six things, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, right? All the 6 anarthas, we have to be purified. But we have to be very careful about enviousness, because we are here because of that envy. Like in the spiritual world, you can still be greedy to serve Krishna. You will want to, all that. So that is why, and the base of all the other things comes from there. Now you see, if I'm greedy for something, why am I greedy? Because I'm envious that somebody has more than me.
Yes.
Or I'm proud because I have more than somebody. Right? I mean, the envy is something which is very subtle, very difficult. Whereas Amarendra Prabhu says envy, no entry in Vrindavan, something like that. ENVY. This is entry in Vrindavan not there, or something like that. Right?
No,
so
I
that we touched upon that. Right? Okay, I hope that answers.
Yes, yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, then nothing, we can close the class. Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna,
devotees.
Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. And each and every verse you explained with lot of examples, and you related to us in our present day-to-day life. And thank you so much, Mataji. So many takeaway points today, and we have to learn so much and improve in our Krishna consciousness. Very wonderful, Mataji. Thank you so much for your association.
Thank you. Yeah, it is all Guru's mercy, nothing individual. Right? It is the Parampara's mercy. Okay, devotees. Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripasin dubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo ananta koti vaishnavebhyo
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna,
much.
Mataji.
Thank you very much,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
With your permission, I will end the session, Mataji.
Please, Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.